There are habits, strange ones, behaviors most people see as flaws, distractions, even personality issues. But what if these so-called weird habits are actually signs of unusually high intelligence? We're not talking about tests or degrees. We're talking about things you do every day. First, you talk to yourself. Murmuring ideas isn't madness. Psychologists call it structured external thought. It's how brilliant minds organize, solve problems faster, and stay focused when others drift. It's a brain working out loud. Second, you get distracted during simple moments. Ever walk into a room and forget why? Your mind is processing on a different level. It doesn't stop at the surface. It analyzes, connects, imagines. While others listen, you think. Finally, your mind races at night. For you, the silence isn't peaceful. It's when the brain speeds up, an overflow of ideas, doubts, questions. This isn't stress, it's cognitive hyperactivity. So these aren't flaws. They're the echoes of a mind working overtime.
That feeling of profound restlessness when things get too predictable, it's not a character flaw. It's not impatience. It's a mind rejecting stagnation. Highly intelligent people often get bored fast because they aren't just looking for fun, they're hunting for stimulus. Their brains are wired with a deep-seated need to learn, to change, to create. While others find comfort in the rhythm of the same routines, for a mind like this, repetition feels like a cage. This can lead to feelings of apathy, irritability, or even depression when stuck in an understimulating job or classroom. And research shows that our digital age, despite its promise of endless content, can actually make this worse. The passive consumption of information, the endless scroll, doesn't satisfy this cognitive hunger. It only starves it, creating a paradox where we're surrounded by information but feel more profoundly bored than ever. This drive isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's the engine that pushes you to move, to evolve, to constantly reinvent yourself in the world you inhabit. So where does that mind go when the world outside is too slow? It goes inward. Think about the last conversation you had that felt off. Do you ever find yourself replaying it? Not out of regret, but out of curiosity, testing out different words, different tones, exploring alternate timelines? Or when you're driving, do you construct entire stories in your head, complete with characters and plot twists, just because it feels natural? This isn't idle daydreaming. It's a form of advanced mental simulation known as counterfactual thinking. For some, this ability is so powerful, it's called hyperphantasia, an imagination so vivid it rivals actual sight. Neuroscience reveals that this is tied to stronger connections between the brain's visual networks and its decision-making regions. It's the same cognitive tool found in visionary leaders and innovators. They don't just solve existing problems, they simulate future scenarios, seeing possibilities long before they become real. Of course, this can also lead to overthinking, a mind so busy exploring every potential outcome that it can become trapped in anxiety. But when harnessed, it is the engine of creativity itself. This internal world building is fueled by an incredible amount of high-resolution data gathered from the outside. A slight, almost imperceptible pause in someone's voice that signals doubt. The way a book on a shelf is angled just a few degrees differently than it was yesterday. A subtle shift in the afternoon light that no one else seems to register. This is the result of heightened sensitivity to microsignals, visual, emotional, and environmental. It's a trait explained by concepts like sensory processing sensitivity, where the nervous system processes stimuli more deeply, or what some psychologists call overexcitabilities, an intense way of experiencing the world. This isn't about seeing chaos, it's about seeing the world as an intricate mosaic and having the ability to perceive the individual tiles that make up the larger picture. You notice the tiny fracture in the ceramic, the subtle gradient of color, the precise placement of each piece. These three things, the constant hunger for new stimulus, the vivid simulation of alternate realities, and the acute perception of details everyone else misses, they are not separate quirks. They form a powerful, continuous feedback loop. The sensitivity to detail provides the raw data. The imagination simulates what can be done with it.
and the boredom provides the relentless motivation to go out and find more. It's a complete operating system for experiencing reality on a different frequency.
Let's talk about something that on the surface doesn't sound like a strength. In fact, it might be the very thing that's made you question yourself for years. It's this quiet, persistent feeling of being out of place. This one surprises people because we're taught that intelligence means fitting in, leading the pack, having all the answers. But for many individuals with a very high IQ, the experience is the opposite. It's a feeling of being different, not in a way that's better, and certainly not worse, just different. It's like you're standing in a crowded room and there's a complex, beautiful piece of music playing that only you can hear. You try to explain the melody, the harmony, the rhythm, but everyone else just hears noise. Or worse, silence. You start to wonder if you're imagining it. That's the feeling. As if your mind operates on a frequency others don't even know exists. And the truth is, it does.
That isn't arrogance, it's just physics. Your brain is wired for a different kind of processing. That relentless curiosity you have, the one that sends you down research rabbit holes at 2 in the morning, that isn't a lack of focus. It's your mind demanding more complex input. That spontaneous creativity, where an idea arrives fully formed, a solution to a problem no one else even saw yet, that's not random. It's the result of your brain making connections at an incredible speed. Complex thinking, spontaneous creativity, relentless curiosity. These aren't just personality quirks. They are the engines of a powerful intellect. And these things, they create distance. It's not a wall you build intentionally. It's more like a quiet space that naturally forms around you. A space required for the deep processing your mind is constantly engaged in. This isn't isolation, it's just distance, a side effect of seeing the world through a higher resolution lens. It's a distance that can feel lonely until you realize it's a landscape. A landscape only someone like you can truly navigate and understand. So if you've recognized yourself in this feeling, if you've spent your life trying to turn down the volume of your own thoughts just to match the room, it's time for a moment of truth. You're probably not weird. You're not too sensitive. You are definitely not distracted. All those labels that have been put on you, or worse, the ones you've put on yourself, they're just misunderstandings. They're what happens when people try to describe a language they don't speak. You're intelligent. Maybe far more intelligent than you've ever given yourself credit for, because intelligence doesn't always look the way we were told it should. It isn't always loud or confident or fast. Sometimes it shows up in the cracks, in the need for solitude, in the silences while you're connecting a dozen different thoughts. It shows up in the habits no one else in your life seems to understand. The truth is simple, and it's time you accepted it. Your brain is operating on a different level. It always has been. And now you finally know it. That feeling of being out of place, it was never a sign that something was wrong with you. It was a sign that you were listening to a different song all along.